guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. For today's video, we are going to be stepping into the realm of makeup. Why am I so weird sometimes? I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my makeup, is what I'm trying to say. I was not originally planning to film a video like this because I feel like it's just, I don't know, it feels so old school YouTube to sit down and do a makeup tutorial, but number one, this is something that I'm asked all the time. I get so many comments and messages asking specifics about makeup that I'm wearing or how I do certain things in my makeup process, so I thought it would just be easier to sit down and film the entire process and talk through the products and techniques to just show you guys and have a place to guide you whenever I get those questions. And number two, I do feel like the purpose of this video is different from the purpose of old school makeup tutorials on YouTube because I'm not trying to teach people how to apply makeup and the best techniques for application. I'm just showing you guys how I like to apply makeup and the products that I like to use. I don't know, that is at least how I'm thinking about it in my head. So if you have been interested in seeing how I apply makeup, for example, how I get my shadow winged liner, that is one of my most frequently asked questions, or you just want to kind of watch me go through the process, maybe you just find makeup application videos, get ready with me is relaxing. I know I definitely do. Whatever your purpose in being here is, I am just glad you're here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Let's just jump right into it. All right, the very first thing that I do is prime my skin for makeup application, but I don't actually use a makeup primer to do this step. I just use sunscreen, which is the last step in my morning skincare routine. So all of my morning skincare except for sunscreen is already applied, and I will make sure to list my morning skincare routine in the description box below if you would like to know the steps that I follow and the products that I use, but I will apply sunscreen here on camera today since this is kind of part of my makeup routine as well. I just think that the right sunscreen can make an amazing makeup primer, and there's no need for an additional primer on top of it if it's the right sunscreen. And as most of you probably already know, I definitely don't just have one favorite sunscreen. I have so many sunscreens that I really love that I think work great as primers. So I'll list some favorite sunscreen videos below, but today I am using the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen. I absolutely love this sunscreen. It is a fan favorite for a reason. It has a really lightweight lotiony texture, but it's still moisturizing and hydrating. So it's not one of those that is so lightweight that feels like you need additional moisture on top of it. It's perfect by itself, but not too thick and heavy for makeup application. So I still will apply 2 layers of sunscreen, even if I am applying makeup on top of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 layers on and then let that sit for a while, fully absorb into the skin, before I move on to the actual makeup products. And I am going to apply some of my LANEIGE lip sleeping mask in the vanilla scent. I have a love-hate relationship with this product, as you guys already know, but it does feel amazing. So I love to apply this during this step of my routine so that I just have nice conditioned lips while I'm doing the rest of my makeup. That feels good. Also, aside from sun protection purposes, another reason why you want to make sure to wait after applying sunscreen and before applying your complexion product like foundation is that if you apply that foundation on top of a sunscreen that still is kind of wet and slippery, that's just going to mess up the sunscreen layer that you have, which is then going to probably mess up your foundation and make it look streaky? Not a word. What's in my eyeball? It'll probably make it look streaky or patchy. It makes it more difficult to blend, and it definitely makes it more likely to pill. So wait at least 10 minutes, up to 20 ideally, then you can apply that complexion product. All right, now we are ready for my complexion product, which of course is the L'Oreal True Match Nude Hyaluronic Tinted Serum. Everything that I use, products, brushes, etc., will all be listed in the description box of this video in the order that I used them, so you don't have to worry if I don't mention something while using it. It's in the description box, I promise. If you're on Beauty Talk, you've probably seen the Mary Phillips makeup technique, and if you are not on Beauty Talk and you have no idea what I'm talking about, Mary Phillips is Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner's makeup artist, and she does beautiful work. And that is really what inspired me to start using brushes to apply my complexion products and concealer, and then just use my damp beauty sponge to blend out any areas that need it instead of just using only the sponge to apply it. I feel like this just makes it easier for me to use less product and get a more natural looking skin-like result. I don't really know why I think I just end up having to use more product because it gets soaked up in the sponge, and then before I know it, I have a lot more product on than I was intending to. And what I found really interesting is that she uses a loose kind of powder brush like this to apply complexion products instead of what you would think of for a typical foundation brush like this, something that's much more like dense and packed. And I think that that also helps you to just get a more natural look that requires less product. So I am just working this into my skin, moving in circular motions. I'll probably need just a little bit more product to get even color coverage. Maybe not. Over there, tiny. Why am I speaking in, I mean, God knows what accent that is. Is it supposed to be British, Irish? Both. All right, now for the sponge to just do a final bit of blending. This really does just look so pretty, more natural. I think it's because you can't pack a brush like this with liquid product. It just literally won't hold it and then allow you to apply it nicely. So it forces you to use less if you have a heavy hand like me. All right, now for concealer, I am going in with my newest favorite. It's actually one that a lot of you recommended on one of my videos. It's the DIOR Forever Skin Correct Concealer. All right, so I am applying the majority of the product towards the inner corner of my eye because that's where I need it most. And then I bring it up onto my lid as well. Then we will do the same thing over here and bring it up onto my lid. Now I'm taking the NARS Soft Matte Concealer brush and I am using this to blend out the concealer underneath my eyes and towards the outer corner to really cover up any discoloration there. And I personally find that concealer on top of the lid is a must for me because it just helps to even my skin tone and makes everything look more cohesive when I have my winged liner and mascara on. Love it. All right, going back in with the sponge to just blend that out one final time and soak up any excess product that may be sitting out there. I don't know why I said that. All right, now I need to set these cream products. I am using the Sigma Soft Focus Setting Powder, and I'm gonna start off by setting concealer with the same brush that I used to blend it out. And something else that I think is really nice about that technique where you use a fluffier brush to apply your foundation or whatever you're using is that I find, at least, because I don't have as much of that cream product on my face, I don't need nearly as much setting powder as I used to. And for this, I'm just making sure to kind of press this into the skin versus swiping, because swiping will often pull the concealer away from where it's sitting and can give you a streaky, uneven result. We'll start to see some of that discoloration peek back through. I have little marks from my glasses right here, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of extra powder there to help to get rid of that redness. And now I am just going to really lightly set the rest of my face with a small brush like this. What is this technically for? Oh, this is technically a foundation brush, but I love the way that this applies setting powder as long as I am going in with a light hand, so just like lightly dabbing. All right, let's do my eyebrows and eye makeup next. The reason I want to do that is because it's my least favorite part of my routine. I don't know why I hate applying mascara so much, but I really do. I think just because it's the longest process, but I love applying bronzer and blush and highlight and lips, so I'm gonna save that for last. So just starting by brushing my brows up a little bit so that that can help to guide where I place the brow color. I am using the Nude Sticks Eyebrow Stylist Pencil and Gel, and this is the last one that I have in the shade, I think it's just blonde, right? Yeah, in the shade blonde, but they discontinued this color, so I am gonna be on the hunt for new brow products after this runs out. I actually just ordered a bunch of different ones from Ulta, so I will keep you guys posted. I am devastated because this is my perfect color match for my hair. And to be honest, I have always struggled with my brows. I think you guys know that, especially if you've been around since the beginning. My brows have been through quite the journey since the start of my channel. I just don't have a lot of brow hair to work with, and I have a lot of sparse areas, so it just makes it difficult to get that really natural kind of fluffed up look when I don't have anything to fluff up. but skin. All right, once my brows are fully colored in and looking hideous, I like to set them and brush them up with brow gel. I am using the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter Gel. This is a gel that I used to think was fine. Like, I was like, yeah, it's good, but really no need to spend extra money on it. There are a lot of affordable brow gels. But I've been testing out so many brow gels over the past several months, and I realized that this is actually a lot better than I originally thought it was compared to all of these ones I have been trying. So sorry, Benefit. Sorry I changed my mind. And I personally don't love the straight up and down look on myself. Not that my brows would even ever hold that position. So I kind of do like a diagonal brushing, if that makes sense. Kind of like an up and over instead of just up. I think I would give away 2 of my toes to have naturally full eyebrows. Honestly, probably 3. Like, to never have to do this again and to just be able to wake up and not look like a naked mole rat. What's it like? Oh my God, that just reminded me that when I was on Hinge in Chicago, there was a guy who said like, oh, I forget. Oh, it was like the what am I weirdly attracted to prompt. And he said eyebrows, or like full eyebrows or something like that. Full natural brows. And I was like, ugh. Yeah, we're not gonna work out, buddy. I knew that my eyebrows were going to misbehave today. I knew this was going to happen just because I was filming it. Whatever. Let's just call it how it is. Not one of you came to watch this video for an eyebrow tutorial. Not one. And I can say that with confidence. And I can be okay with that. Unlike my eyebrows, something that I am asked about all the time is what I use to create my brown winged liner, how I do shadow liner, etc. So let's move on to something that's a little bit more useful. I am going to be using the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette for this. I know that this was limited edition and sold out pretty quickly. I don't know if they restocked it. I don't know if it's something you can still get your hands on. So if you do not have that and you can't get access to it, that's okay, because another palette that I've used for this purpose a million times is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. This is incredible for this purpose, but if you don't have either of these palettes, all you will need is a skin toned color eyeshadow and whatever color you want to use for your shadow liner. So to create the skin toned color eyeshadow, I am going to pick up the lightest shade in this palette with this kind of peachy light brown right here. I'm just mixing those two together, and I'm going to lay this down all over my lid up to my brow bone for a base. This is super important for me because this helps to prevent both my mascara and my eyeshadow from streaking and smudging. If I don't do this, I easily will end up with streaks, because then you have wet product, like a wet mascara on top of a creamy wet concealer, and that does not work. And this also helps the shadow wing to stay in place all day. It will not fade if you do this. At least it never does for me. All right, now I am going to go ahead and create the wing. Today I am going to be using this brown right here, which is like a nice mid warm toned brown, and the absolute best shadow winged liner brush of all time, the EIG Show Angled Eyeliner Brush. This is available on Amazon. Of course, it's listed and linked below, but ever since I discovered this and started using it for this technique, I cannot use anything else. It is the perfect size and shape because it is long and thin. It's the best, trust me. All right, the first thing that I will do is create the line that is going to be my wing, and I am going to use my lower lash line as a guide. So I'm going to just kind of continue the line of my lower lash line up and towards the tail end of my eyebrow. If it were to extend further, just starting off like that to kind of create, I got some in my eye, the initial guide. Then I just start to place the shadow along my lash line, and you can make this as thick or as thin as you would like to. I'll just kind of press this into the area instead of dragging and sliding it, because that will just, what was that noise? That will create fallout and get messy. So I'll just do that. And then in that process, you will just connect the base of the line on your lash line to the base of the wing, or the line that you extended up. And it'll make a nice little wing. Like so. And then I like to bring the shadow all the way to my inner corner of my lash line to complete the liner look. And if I get fallout, I'll just use the brush that I use to apply my setting powder to kind of just like dab over that area a tiny bit, but it's usually not an issue. All right, shadow wings are on. You can make them as long, as thick, as thin, as short as you want to. And if you're someone that really likes the look of more of a smudgy liner versus something like this, which is pretty straight and defined, you can go in with any eyeshadow brush and just lightly rub along that lash line and the wing, and it'll smudge it out and it'll look great. Okay, now for my least favorite part of this entire process. I'm so excited to be done with this and I haven't even started it. Mascara. I am starting off with the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. I like to use this to lengthen and separate my lashes, and an essential little technique, I guess you could say, for me is to blink every single time I coat any of my lashes. So as I am applying this, every single time I bring this brush, wand, whatever you want to call it, in contact with my lashes, I am blinking, and I start at the base of my lashes right up to that lash line, and then I blink through the length of it. This adds so much more volume, so much more length. There's just no comparison. All right, for my second mascara, to add some additional volume, I am going on top of that with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara, but still following that same technique and blinking every time. If I get mascara on my face or my eyelids, which I often do, I will just wait for it to dry and then scrape it right on off with a Q-tip, and then if it picked up any of my shadow or complexion product, I'll just go in with a little bit of extra powder over it. Okay, this eyeshadow really got darker than I was intending it to. I'm gonna lighten that up a tiny bit. That's better. I am going to be using the Sephora Micro Smooth Multitasking Baked Face Powder. I just pick up a deeper shade that works as a bronzer for me. I have been obsessed with this. I got it during the VIB sale and instantly fell in love. I reach for this all the time over high-end bronzers. It is such a good bronzer. And I like to use bronzer brushes that are large and fluffy, shaped like this or like this, either. And then I will apply bronzer, I would say, in a similar way to contour, but just over a larger area. So instead of just doing like underneath the hollows of my cheekbones to carve out, I'm kind of going over the whole apple of my cheek, plus a little bit underneath, and then up on the sides of my temples and my forehead. This may be too much for some, that's totally fine. I just love bronzer, and I feel like this is the step that brings everything to life. It is very essential for me. And then I'll usually just add like a tiny bit like that to the sides of my nose, just to kind of add a little bit of warmth there, not for the purpose of contouring. If I try to contour my nose, it literally looks like a piece of floss. I don't know why I chose that as the comparison. It just gets too skinny looking. All right, and then I'm just going to use that brush that I use to set my face with powder to lightly blend this. I also like using this brush because if I happen to take my bronzer a little bit too low, I can just pick up a little bit of extra setting powder and use that to kind of lightly clean up the edges. For blush, I'm going to apply the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Blush in Mood Exposure. It is gorgeous. It's just such a perfect neutral wearable pink. And for me, I always apply blush with an angled blush brush. That is a must for me. I just feel like it applies better. And then same thing, just going to blend that out a little bit. For highlight, I will be using the DIOR Backstage Glow Face Palette. This is so stunning, and I'm going to mix these first two shades right here. Just do a little on tops of my cheekbones and also just above my brow bone a little bit. I know a lot of people are over highlight. I am not. I still love it. I'll just use my finger to blend. And I've also really been loving the look of just like a little subtle brow bone highlight. So I'll just place those two shades again, just lightly right under the high part of my brow bone. What's that called? The arch? Oh yeah. And then I'll do like a tiny bit in here. So it's more to just add a little bit of glow versus it being a really intense inner corner highlight like we all used to do back in, what, 2016? Those were the days. Oh my God. I miss those days. All right, now we are ready to finish up the video with lips. I am using the Sephora Rouge Gel Liner in the shade 29 Dress to the 90s. This was another VIB purchase. These lip liners are so good. I don't understand how they are affordable. So I just line the outline of my lips. I don't do any crazy overlining. Just keep it pretty simple, just to add some definition. And then if there are any areas that look too harsh, I'll just blend them out with my finger. Also, I feel like that LANEIGE lip mask is perfect for lip liner application because at this point, it still is there a tiny bit on my lips, but a lot of it has faded away. So it prevents the lip liner from looking too dark and harsh, but it's not on there so much that it makes it impossible to apply, if that makes sense. I need to stop talking while I'm lining my lips. And to achieve the nice glossy neutral pink look that I'm going for, I have two different products that I'm going to layer. I absolutely love combining lip products. I do have an entire video where I share 10 of my all-time favorite lip combinations. I'll list that below if you haven't seen that yet and you would like to see some more lipstick and lip gloss and lip oil pairings. So many good ones in that video. So the first product is the Makeup by Mario Lip Serum in Petal Glow. So I could totally leave that as is. It's beautiful, but I want to add just like a little bit of purple. So I'm going to add the Sigma Renew Lip Oil in the shade All Heart. It is a really gorgeous purpley pink and it complements this perfectly. Oh yeah, now we're talking. Most of you are probably thinking that that looks exactly the same as it did before, but you know what? It's the subtle variations that I swear make all the difference. Or at least that's what I tell myself. All right, that is it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed this and had fun getting ready with me today. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to test any of these products out. If so, as always, again, they're all listed and linked in my description box below. If there are any makeup products that you are currently using and loving that you think I need to test out, please let me know that in the comments as well. Please. And if you did enjoy the video, you know the drill. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend that you think would enjoy my content. Thank you so much for doing those things. Your support means the world. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.